Hey, yo, bro. It's your boy 3. You guys, this is crazy, bro. These cards shouldn't exist. Like, these cards just should not exist. I'm going to be talking about my opinion and my take on the Fiendsmith archetype. This, dude, this is like PTSD. This is literally Orcus Nightmare. This is Nightmare freaking Mermaid all over again, bro. Like, this is actually crazy. This engine is it's just literally generic. Like any deck that can put two monsters on the field can like have access to this line. What I want to talk about is the strengths of the archetype and like what it offers to other decks that already have synergistic properties with this engine, and how it does have enablers for just any light fiend archetype. So there's not very many specific decks that like benefit so much from this engine in the terms of getting access to theirs. Now as a way to insulate or play through interruptions or hand traps to have a higher ceiling at the end of your combo. And like to also get like consistent access to Beatrice, which gives us like turn skip you. I think that like this is just not okay. Because like there's an abundant amount of hand traps in the format right now. And it's just crazy that like I can get hand trapped 3 times and then just make this card and it doesn't even matter. So I just don't know like what the format's supposed to look like when these cards come out. Like, because this looks like a tier 0 format to me. Like, this really does. This is like shivers. So, we'll talk about the Fiendsmith. So, it reminds me of Sky Strikers. It is an archetype based on one monster. And he has a couple spells and traps and a couple of extra deck monsters. And there's a lot that this art... So, for one, if you're playing it pure, you already have 9 one-card combos, which is pretty nice. But this card is like a house. Like, what he does all by himself and being a level 6 is just not, it's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. They knew what they were doing when they printed this card. So you could discard him, add a Fiendsmith spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So he's a starter. He's already a starter. Already. And then you can target a Fiendsmith equipped card you control and one monster on the field. Send them to the graveyard. So not only is he a starter, but on field, he's a spot removal. So like he helps you to break boards going second. And with how you're able to access this engine, like it means that you can tech in a couple flex spots in your extra decks, throw like 1 or 2 of this guy in your main deck. Well, technically I would play 2, like minimum. Throw like 1 of this guy or 2 of this guy in your main deck, and like your combo is able to play. You can play through nibs so easily now. It's actually freaking insane. Like you can have 2 blanket extenders. Like anybody could tech in like a Link Spider, and like you can just. It's just crazy. You'll be able to, like, a lot of these combo decks will be able to combo through Nib even more efficiently. But it gets even better. Not only is he spot removal going second, but then if this card's in your grave, you could shuffle 1 other light fiend monster from your grave to your deck or extra deck, summon this card. So he's an extender, he's a starter, and he's a spot removal. All 3 sustained in 1 card. So this card is mental. He's a 1-card combo. I'll show you towards the end of the video. But his other cards are super broken. So they have a Hornet Drones. This is Sanctus. If you control no face-up monsters or all face-up monsters you control are light fiends, you summon out a Fiendsmith token. You cannot declare attacks for the rest of this turn except with fiend monsters. That's not going to matter if you're playing it in a fiend deck. If a face-up Fiendsmith monster you control is destroyed by a battle or your opponent's card while this card's in your grave, you could set it. So this is like an extender, and it gives you follow-up as well. This card is really, really crazy. This is Tractus. This is the Rhoda of the deck. You can add 1 light fiend. So like we're just going to pause for a second. You add 1 light fiend from your deck to your hand. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. That's not okay. There's no level restriction. So like... this card's broken. Like, you can Rhoda for any light fiend. Like, Rhoda's at 1. Reinforcement of the army is at 1. But, like, light fiends get their own personalized Rhoda, which is inherently freaking, like, Fabled support, Lightsworn support. You know what I mean? Like, what? It's freaking Valmonica support. It's freaking Labyrinth support. Dude, it's freaking Magical Musketeer support. It's Astro Karibo support. I mean, this card's going crazy. You can banish it from the field, and it's a poly as well. Broken card. Best card in the deck. And then the trap is actually kind of insane. Fiendsmith and Paradisium. I'm sure the names are going to change once it's converted to TCG. You target a level 7 or higher light fiend monster you control. Send all other cards on the field to the graveyard except that monster. If your opponent special summons a monster while this card's in your graveyard, you can banish this card, send one Fiendsmith monster from your deck, or extra deck to your graveyard. So this is insane for Crackback too, because like when we get to the extra deck, there's quite a few cards that have really good effects in grave. So this card's like a board wipe and good for the Crackback too. So like this is how you design a trap. Like it's so hard to design a trap in 2024 or even in 2023. Like just like power creeping's been so real, and the quality of cards has changed dynamically, because like now in order for a card to be good, it has to have 3 effects. It has to be an effect that allows it to be playable in the first place. It has to have some type of recovery or sustain built into the card. And then a lot of the times, like, you need crackback. Like you need like, and whether that's follow up or if it's something like this, like you have to like Stovey Torby sets one and then summons itself. That's 2 effects. Like the card it pays for itself every single turn. Like Chandragalier pays for itself. Kuklok pays for itself. Like these cards are just being designed differently. You know what Caspar does? Like he has really like 1 effect. That's it. Just search. This card is power crap. Like this is just like, dude, this card is insane. Like because on the crackback, my opponent starts playing into my board, I can send one of their cards to the grave immediately. So this card's nuts. This trap is really, really good. So they have a Link 1. Any deck that has a Link 1, that's trouble. That's not okay. So Requiem, really, really broken card. Very simple effect. During the main phase, quick effect! Dude, quickie! So that means on summon, this card's always beating Valor or Imperm. You're always going to get to resolve this and put out a Fiendsmith on the field. You tribute this, special summon 1 Fiendsmith monster from your hand or deck. Graveyard effect. Target a non-link light fiend monster you control. Equip it. Equip this card from your field or graveyard to that monster against 600 attack. Pretty gnarly. So this card is Lone Fire, spell speed 2. Their other Link 2 is broken. Sequentia. This card says during the main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Fiend Fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling. By shuffling! No, you have to stop. You guys have to stop doing this stuff, bro. You have to stop letting decks just grind for eternity. You can't have you can't just give a card, like you can't give a deck good cards and then give them like an insane grind game and give them follow up and give them like insane interruptions and a powerful engine and then just say, "Oh, by the way, you can play this in any deck." Nah, that's not how it's done, son. Like you're asking for this to be abused. You're asking for me to rip, like, bro, he's gonna be a whore. He's gonna hoe himself out, bro. Like everybody's gonna be using him. So Quintia, during the main phase, you could fusion summon 1 Fiend Fusion monster, any Fiend Fusion monster. So this is support for quite a few different decks, which is really nice. This is inherently kind of Dark World support because you shuffle the materials from your graveyard into the deck, which is insane. So like this is Dark World support. All this is also Dark World support. So I'll just slap, let me see how I can get this right here. Let me see, Dark World, I need to have a space. There we go. I forgot to put the space. So this guy right here, like, this is crazy, bro. Like, even Dark Worlds can use this deck because, like, the thing is, whether you're forcing Nib early or setting up Waking Caesar, like, through a droll, because what's insane about, like, this combo is, like, now Dark World can get drolled, and then they can just combo with the Fiendsmith cards. You can also just, like, make Beat Rice and use Beat Rice to dump any Dark World cards that you're missing, which is just insane. So this card's not okay. You fusion summon any Fiend monster, any Fiend Fusion, by shuffling the materials from your graveyard into the deck. It can be built, which is nice. You can target 1 non-link light Fiend monster you control. Equip this card from your field or graveyard to that monster. Your opponent cannot target that equipped monster with card effects. That's not okay. So if you go through your streamlined combo and you don't shuffle these guys back, you can essentially make, because we're getting to the point, but like you can essentially make like a 3400 house that And this name is also insane. I'm a huge freaking Seven Deadly Sins fan, and like Dies Irae is one of the techniques that Meliodas' brother uses. He used it actually on Ludocio, who was in like another person's body. So I thought that was like, I was like, dude, there's a lore behind this deck. So the next card that we're gonna talk about is Lacrimosa. So this card's a level 6. This is not okay. You can already see like where we have a problem where like an engine that's generic and you can slap. The reason why this engine is more broken than it should be is because of this card. Now I can see in the future, I'm not gonna lie, that if you wanted to hit this engine and still sell it, you could just hit this card, Moon of the Close Sky. It just takes 2 effect monsters. Its effect is super irrelevant unless you're playing Goddess. But what matters is that it's a generic light link to Fiend monster, which means any 2 effect monsters goes bonk, bro. So Lacrimosa takes 2 light fiends. Monsters your opponent controls lose 600 attack. You can only use each of the following effects of Lacrimosa once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, you can target 1 light fiend monster in your grave, or banish zone, add it to your hand, or special summon it. That's not okay. So that means if I'm playing an actual light fiend deck, this engine is not only going to extend through hand traps, it's going to bring back my Caspar. It's going to bring back or add to Reborn or add to my hand my Whis, so I can Whis again. Like, it's going to give me back my Adjusted Gold. It's going to give me back my Daimono. It's going to give me back my Fable cards. Like, I can go infinite on Santa Claus. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's like, don't give me the option to add it to my hand or summon it. Give me one or the other. Don't make the card so good. If this card's sent to the graveyard, you could shuffle 1 other light fiend monster from your graveyard into your deck or extra deck. Inflict 1200 damage to your opponent. Why did that have to be there? Do you know what this means, you guys? Like, this means any deck has a win condition in time now. Like, any deck that plays allocate slots in their extra deck for this combo, can put 2 monsters on the field, go on the Close Sky, and summon out Requiem, can win in time now through hand traps, because if you're not playing the pure deck, that means your engine is going to force the interruptions. You can threaten Appaloosa early, like force Nib early. If you're playing Snake Eye, this is not fair. There's nothing fair about it, but this is Yu-Gi-Oh! So, for no reason, you have a win condition in time. Broken. Makes no sense at all. Dies Irae. This card is wow. This card is just wow. So it takes the Fiendsmith, which is this bad boy right here. I'm in love, by the way. This engine, I'm playing this pure. I'm playing this in my Labyrinth deck. I'm playing this in my Magical Musketeers. I'm playing this in my Dark World deck. Oh my goodness. Stop it right now. So this guy takes the Fiendsmith plus 2 light fiend monsters. Quick effect. You can negate non-targeting, negate the effects of a number of face-up cards on the field up to the total link ratings of the link monsters equipped to this card until the end of this turn. If this card's sent to the graveyard for no reason at all, shuffle 1 more follow-up for no reason. Shuffle, just like recycle, shuffle, recursion, shuffle, like infinite recursion. This engine's never going to run out. Shuffle 1 other light fiend monster from your graveyard into your deck or extra deck. Target 1 card on the field, send it to the graveyard. Not you getting your board broken for trying to break my board. Not that. Let's not go there. Like, how about no? Like, why? I don't know, bro. So that's what I was talking about with the trap, because like the trap sends a Fiendsmith monster from your deck or extra deck to the grave while it's in the graveyard. Like, so this is what's crazy. So it says right here, if your opponent special summons a monster, like, keep in mind, this is all 1 effect. You can only use each. It doesn't say while this card's in the graveyard except the turn it's sent. So like, it literally says you do send all cards on the field to the graveyard except that monster. Then if your opponent special summons a monster while this card's in your graveyard, banish this card, send this guy from your deck, for your extra deck to the grave, and then send another card on the field to the grave. Why? Just because. For no reason. Like, this card is insane because of this card. These cards are just insane because of this card, and inherently are already good as an engine just to like play in any deck. This card's engage. This is Sky Striker engage. You can't change my mind that this is not engage. This is not Hornet Drones, and this is not a better Ray. So you can already see where like this looks broken, powerful, extremely fun, and it can make a lot of decks better than they already should. Like, what's gonna happen here is because these cards exist and they're coming soon in Infinite Forbidden. It's like 2 days before Nationals. High key, if I get these cards, I'm gonna be playing Fiendsmith Labyrinth for Nationals. So what happens now is like, because these cards exist, decks are gonna be able to like have their way in situations where they shouldn't get their way, and decks are gonna be able to do what they shouldn't be doing. Like, you don't have that level of extension right now. Like, Promethean Princess is a generic, takes 3 monsters, so that means like, technically speaking, I can Fiendsmith combo, right? Make my Beat Rice with the Link 2 up, Foolish Burial, a Snake Eye Ash, convert Beat Rice and Sequentia into Promethean Princess, and full combo with my Snake Eye cards without drawing any Snake Eye cards just because I drew Fiendsmith. It gets even crazier because that applies for any fire deck. I can do the combo off of one Fiendsmith, like Sequentia, like make Beat Rice, dump any fire monster, and then Promethean Princess it back. So what else can I do? I can dump any Fiend monster, and I can Muttcracker it back. So I can do this for any Fiend deck as well. What's also cool is I can just make Beat Rice, and I can dump Transaction Rollback, and then dump Big Welcome, and I can combo. Like, I can just dump Transaction Rollback and a Ghost Meets Girl, and now I just skip my opponent's turn with follow-up. So here's where like it becomes more of a problem. So let's talk about the decks that, not even all the decks that this engine like it supplements, but also like the decks that I feel like have some of the best synergy. So I think Labyrinth is definitely one of those decks because this engine allows you. So like, here's where it's a problem. I can go Arius to set my Welcome Trap, and then I can special summon Lady, or I can chain Lady to it. Flip my trap, get ashed, chain Arius Engrave to summon him. Then I can normal summon my Ariana, and my opponent can chain Imperm and get punished by ladies, or just flip the Veiler because they're better. Veiler my Ariana, right? Right? They can Veiler my Ariana, which is fine, totally fine. Let's just pull these cards out because this is crazy. Like, this isn't even everything. Like, this is not everything. So again, just to recap, so this is I'm bringing up this scenario because this has happened to me, and I did get cut off on Yama, which means like they had the 3rd hand trap. Boo-hoo, they're better than me. However, if I had these cards in my deck and extra deck, I could do this. I could go Arius set trap, special Lady, and then I can just like literally go normal summon. Like, if it's Big Welcome, it's even better because then I could go normal summon Ariana. Now they're scared to use Imperm because Lady's up and they don't want me to set trap. But like, let's say they're just better than me and they Veiler my Ariana. So then I chain Big Welcome to dodge the Veiler. They chain I chain Arius, and then I change Big Welcome to dodge the Veiler. They chain Ash on my Big Welcome. So now my Arius doesn't resolve. My Lady can't chain because they're chaining in response to my trap. My Arius comes out. Ariana doesn't resolve, no search. I take the Arius and the Ariana, link those into Yama, and then hopefully they still don't have an Imperm because Lady's going to be able to set. They Mourner. They Ghost Mourner my Yama. So now I've played through 3 hand traps. What do? Do I cry? Because right here I could take Lady and Yama and go straight into Rage, and I can pass on Rage into SP through 3 hand traps, which is crazy. Or I could do something better. I could take Yama and my Lady and go straight in the Moon of the Close Sky, and you can see where now we have a problem because I ate 3 hand traps. And if my opponent has the 4th hand trap and they Imperm me, I have Yama Engrave for follow-up. So like through 4 hand traps, which is so kind of not that unrealistic these days. It's crazy that a deck like Labyrinth can do that. Why? Because it's already a problem that like you can play Yama in your Labyrinth deck, which inherently makes it better. I don't care what anyone tells you. Those 2 bricks, they are worth it. They're worth, I don't care if I draw both of them every game because it enables my deck to do things that it can't do without them. And I get to have my way in scenarios where I shouldn't be getting my way. So Do I think the Unchained cards are worth it? Yes. Do I think the Fiendsmith cards are worth it? They're worth it more than the Unchained cards are. But the value now is that all those Labyrinth bodies that you get from all your resources, because every single one of these cards, some way, shape, or form, all the Labyrinth cards have a bonus effect that just says Special Summon. Somehow, some way, they get recurred and back onto the field. What do you do with those bodies? You make Yamas. You make Muckcrackers and Chaos Angels, and now you're making Moon of the Close Sky after you Unchain combo, which is just broken. So now, like, if we're playing Magical Musketeers, congratulations, you've just got, like, 9, like, literal, like, Rotas, which is just broken. You've got 9 Rotas, like, to just get you whatever you need, whenever you need engine. If you're playing Lightsworn, it might even be worth playing this, because not only does this engine allow you to search Weiss, which is one of the better Lightsworn cards, but it also lets you make Beat Rice, which is just not okay. So, would I play Fiendsmith Lightsworn? Yes, I would. I would play Fiendsmith Lightsworn before I would play Runic Lightsworn. Like Astral Cerebral being searchable. The Daimono, I don't know too much about the Valmonica deck, but this card seems pretty good. Let me see. This card's in your hand. Discard one of the card. Take a Angelo from your deck and place that card and this in your Pilum Zones. Oh, that's kind of nasty. Oh. Okay. So that's a good card. So it looks like they have a starter. Like, you know what I mean? They have like 6 more Rotas. Like, I just have adjusted gold because I was like, let's look at every light fiend monster and let's just consider the Campbell's chicken noodle soup possibilities. What's also insane is, like, we can go back to Labyrinth. I'm just so biased. Is that, like, if I Fiendsmith combo, and let's just say that I didn't draw the Fiendsmith, and I actually want him to search me a spell or trap, I can big welcome bounce him. You know what I mean? That's just funny. So, the Fabled Lari is, like, probably going to go up in price because your main combo, you don't want to go the token guy, make the token and make the link 1, because, like, the extra Fiend Engrave actually matters for the combo. So Fabled Lore is, like, insane. What also we can talk about, which for no apparent reason should be a thing, is that, like, you can just add Catsith going second and just pop a card for no apparent reason if you already have a way to combo into play. So, like, not only is this engine already insane going second because of the extra deck cards and because of the Fiendsmith, like, now your Rhoda can just pop a card. Your Rhoda can search Santa Claus, and that's an out to Appaloosa. That's like an out in playing into the Fireboard. Which is so insane. So insane. Archfiend Eccentric, you know, if you just want to be spicy, you can search Majesty's Fiend, which is actually cracked playing into the Fireboard, and then you can just, you know, play Tierra. What's also insane, as like a card that I'm thinking about in Labyrinth, I'm not saying it's like gonna be good, is this card. I don't even want to butcher its name, but it's the Dark Ruler of the Highest Heaven. So let's talk about this card's effect, because it's actually a gnarly card. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 monster, 1 spell, and 1 trap from your grave. Pretty reasonable, especially in Labyrinth. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can banish 1 monster and 2 spells and traps for your opponent's field and or graveyard. So this card's gnarly because your engine can recycle this. The Fiendsmith engine can infinitely recur this. Technically, I feel like you only need to resolve it once, but it is like a higher risk, higher reward card where, like, you need your graveyard set up for it. But I just really wanted to point out that this is a very broken, like, kind of Chaos Dragon Levianeer-esque card that you can search off of, like, your 6 starters, you know? So that's pretty insane. That's pretty gnarly. This is Fable support, you know what I mean? Like, this is just gas. So what we'll do now is I'm just going to show you, like, the basic line. Okay. So we'll go to Duel Room. We'll go to Host Duel. Okay, and we're going to dig into our deck. And all we're going to do is we're just going to grab this guy right here. This is not an actual deck, you guys know. It's just cards that all are part of the video. That hand was gassed though, right? That was a broken hand. To bottom, to bottom, 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 and bottom. So what you can do with just 1 Fiendsmith, if you guys didn't know, this deck also has 1-card combos. Just to add insult to injury. You go effect, add the track this, right? Activate the track this, Go ahead and grab your Lori, add her to hand, discard her, effect to special summon her, right? You have a Light Fiend. So now we're in a format like where if you see Light Fiends, you're gonna piss your pants. So like maybe we do Book of Moon Lori now. You know what I mean? Like maybe we do flip escape and pop it because it's to a point now where like if this engine is as prevalent and dominant as I know as it's gonna be, the problem now is like if you're playing against any matchup, you're gonna have PTSD because if you see a Light Fiend on field, you're gonna feel like you have no choice but to use your spot removal. You're gonna start mirror jading bad cards, which is just crazy. Like, and we have Typhon and SP Little Knight too. It's just decks are just gonna be getting away with too much. So unsummon, tribute, effect, special summon another Fiendsmith. Next, you're going to activate your Fiendsmith's effect engrave. You're gonna put back the link 1. And then you're going to link these 2 off into the link 2. Use the link 2's effect. You're going to put back the Lori and the Fiendsmith. And then you're going to bring out the level 6 fusion that takes 2 Light Fiends. Use his effect. Reborn the Fiendsmith. You can already see where it's a problem because this is threatening Appaloosa. Of course. So the combo threatens Appaloosa. The other thing is like you can make Wave King Caesar, which is broken as a card. Absolutely insane. If you're playing pure, I guess I'll just tell you right now, if you're playing pure, you can banish Tractus and then use all 3 of these, right, as materials to fusion summon. If you're playing pure, or if you don't need the Beatrice line, then you fuse all 3 of those into this house of a card, DSE Ray, and then you use the link 2 to equip itself to him. So now he can't be targeted by card effects, which is just insane. He can negate up to 2 cards, and then if anything happens to him, he's like a Mirror Jade in a way, you know? But let's talk about the heinous things that you can do once you've gotten to this point. You have 2 level 6 bodies on the field. What does that smell like? It smells like sticky beet rice, honestly. So you're just going to take these 2, overlay them. A generic way to summon beet rice is just not okay. That's going to get this card, like, something can happen to beet rice. I can see something happening to the Goddess Link 2 before anything happens to these cards, because you know how Konami be. So you can already see where it gets crazy. So I can dump Snake Eye Ash, link those 2 off into Promethean Princess, bring it back. I can dump Transaction Rollback, and I can use Rollback. I can dump Rollback now, and I can dump a Big Welcome on my opponent's turn, and I can Big Welcome with Rollback. Like, so without drawing any Lab Engine, I can combo regardless. What else could I do that's like super heinous? If I'm playing Lightsworn, like I can dump whatever the heck I want. If I'm playing like Unchained, for example, what's pretty nifty is I had Fiends on field the entire time I could have made Yama, but like if you just wanted to get greedy, you could overlay those 2 into Wave King Caesar and then use Wave King Caesar plus the Sequentia to make Yama and chain block your Yama and grab Dark Contract with a Gate along with whatever Unchained card of your choice. So that's nice. Like, it's just, the world is your oyster. So like, that's the main combo. It threatens Appaloosa. It can set up the High Wave King Caesar if you play it so that you don't have to waste the slot for Appaloosa. It threatens Beat Rice. It breaks boards because the moment this guy gets summoned off his effect, you can equip so you could put back the level 1 tuner instead, and you can equip the Link 1 to him, use his effect, send both of those and a monster on the field to the grave, like in the middle of your combo. So this is really good for cleaning up boards. Like, I can picture scenarios where I just go Dark Roller no more, Droplet. Like, I clean up the board with just literally any 2 bodies on field. Any Fiend deck now has access to both Yama and this card because of this card. So, like, I think Fiends are eating good. Like, I know the Fire deck's really good, but, like, I've really been on Fiend decks. Like, I've been on Fiend decks. Like, this has been the year of Fiends for me. I've been on, like, Unchained and Labyrinth. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. God bless you guys. Don't do drugs, don't hurt your brain cells. Make good choices. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. Like and subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends about it. Peace.